morning, Lancaster.
I'm Jason.
I'm Jose.
This is CUPPA. It's getting longer. That's getting longer every time. I love it.
Yeah, well, you know.
Be 30 minutes of good. Okay, thanks, folks. Nice to see you again. Today on the program, ghosts, ganja, and games of the video variety.
Hey, now.
And, of course, more space news in our segment called Where Did That Week Go? Because they just fly by.
Absolutely.
They fly by. What's in the cup? We're asking the question, is coffee necessary? The answer is hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And Ruby's bringing us some entertainment news, talking about some friends of hers.
Does she have friends?
And Jose laments springtime in Lancaster. It's a big show.
It is.
It's a big show. But before we get started, let's take a look outside. We're going to go to Ruby with the weather, which is we're going to go to Ruby with the weather, which is brought to you by the second floor fire escape here at the Candy Factory.
Today's weather, pretty brisk.
It sure is. Thank you, Ruby.
Yes.
How you feeling, by the way? You doing all right? You've been.
No, I'm not.
This has been a tough week for you.
It's been a rough one. I'm sure everyone out there can relate, but the pollen lately. Yeah. I tried to celebrate Earth Day yesterday, but I was more just angry at Mother Nature for coming at me with the allergies. It's bad. It's bad.
Well, any better at all? I mean, I want to say I'm glad you're feeling better. I really want to say that. Can I say that?
Yeah. I mean, better than yesterday. Still not great, but we're working on it.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, kid. We're here. Excuse me. We are here on the second floor of the Candy Factory. The Candy Factory is a co-working and social club here in downtown Lancaster. You can come and check it out if you schedule a tour at coworkinginlancaster.com. You're probably sick of working at home, I would think, right? Everybody's sick of working from home for the last 12 months with the global pandemic.
Absolutely.
The Candy Factory is a great place to escape that isolation. Memberships start, our virtual membership, $10. That's not going to really help you in, escaping the home thing. But for 35 and up, you can actually come into the building. We follow all the COVID protocols. It's a safe place to work. Hang out with other humans, which a lot of people haven't done. We're live again this morning. We missed last week.
Yeah, we did.
I missed you, man.
I missed you.
We took off. We went up to Bedford, Pennsylvania.
Ooh, beautiful Bedford.
Our executive producer, Ann Kirby, her sister, has a house and a lodge and a cabin. Sits on about like 500 acres of land. Yeah, so we hiked in the woods, campfire, Nerf battles. It felt really 2019, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you have to qualify things by saying this is, this is a pre-COVID experience.
This feels so pre-COVID. Spent some time on the PA Turnpike, which is the most expensive stretch of asphalt, I think, in the universe. And those rest stops on the PA Turnpike?
Yes, I'm well familiar with them.
Talk about the one place that feels even ickier when there's a deadly virus flying around the...
Yeah.
Did you ever notice how they will completely renovate one of those rest stops, and it takes like 3 weeks for the shine to just peel off?
Yeah. But just, I remember them before they did the renovations, and man, you developed a very, very, let's say, flexible bladder.
Yes. In and out.
Yes.
Go, get out of there. Anyway, it was a good time, but I'm glad to be back here live with you this
Absolutely.
morning. Today on the program, we are talking about the week that just literally flew by. Our first story today is, we're going to What's in the Cup. It's time for two guys to talk about what.
Oh my goodness. Apparently someone has not had their necessary coffee for today. And necessary coffee is our blend of the day, our wonderful necessary coffee blend. That's a great name for the blend. Necessary Coffee is a local roaster, and it's the blend says it tastes like chocolate brown sugar.
It does.
How do you taste so good? Yeah.
I don't even need coffee with that.
All right.
Necessary Coffee is actually a sub-brand of Passenger. I'm going to call it a sub-brand, but I dug into this a little bit to find out what the story was. Passenger Coffee, one of our local roasters here in Lancaster, spun off a second roasting company called Necessary in September of 2019. And the deal is these coffee producers produce these boutique beans, right? And specialty coffee are being sold for a very high price.
Okay.
But what happens with the producers is the majority of their beans are still selling at market value, and that fluctuates.
Mm-hmm.
So even if a producer is doing really well and selling these boutique coffee beans at a really high price, they still might be losing money. And the mission of these guys, of Passenger and Necessary, is to sort of bridge that gap. So they're basically creating a very accessible specialty coffee to help producers, because of the mission. Part of the mission of these companies is a sustainable and equitable supply chain. So it's good work.
Yeah.
So we're drinking good coffee for good people doing good things.
That's
what we like here on Cup of Chase.
That's right. It's necessary.
Sustainable sourcing, skillful roasting, everyday flavor. So it's for guys like us. Just two guys who like to drink coffee.
That's right.
And I've had apparently too much of it this morning already.
I don't think you've had enough.
I'm on my sixth cup. That's why I'm talking so fast.
Oh, okay.
So speaking of necessary coffee, you can win a bag of necessary coffee by answering our question of the week. And this week, our question is, what was your favorite television program as a child, as a kid? So, was there a particular show that just stuck out, reminds you of childhood, takes you back, feels nostalgic? How about you? What did you want?
It depends on which era you're talking about. You're talking about early youth, teenage years, or
that's for you to decide.
Well, I like as a kid.
Yeah.
I have fond memories of Captain Kangaroo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Captain Kangaroo growing up.
Wholesome.
Exactly. Mr. Green Jeans.
Taught you good life lessons.
Exactly.
That's why you're a good guy. How about as a teenager?
As a teenager, it was actually, besides my fascination with Wonder Woman, it was probably Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I remember when I first discovered Monty Python, I was like 12 years old.
Yeah.
Watching PBS late at night, flipping through, and I saw Quest for the Holy Grail.
Exactly.
And that's quite a discovery for it to this day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
12-year-old discovers Monty Python.
Warped your mind.
So answer that question for us. Just leave a comment below, no matter what platform you're watching, and you can answer that question all week. And next week we will draw a winner. A random commenter will win a bag of necessary coffee and a shiny new Candy Factory mug.
Love it.
Just like that one right there.
Love it.
What was your favorite TV show as a kid? Cheers for me.
Cheers for you?
Yeah. Cheers. Always
Cheers.
Takes me back. Where did that week go? Where did those 2 weeks go?
Where did the last 10 minutes go?
Absolutely. Our first story today is about the haunted Fulton Theater. So the Fulton Theater is a professional theater here in Lancaster. It's been around for 169 years. And a television program called Portals to Hell, which is on the streaming service Discovery Plus, actually paid a visit to the Fulton last fall. Now, this show is hosted by Jack Osborne, who you might know as the son of his Ozness, Ozzy Osbourne, and Katrina Weidman, who's actually a Pennsylvania girl. She grew up in Bucks County, went to Penn State, and was the host of Paranormal State on A&E for about, 4 or 5 years going back. So last fall in November, on the Friday the 13th weekend, these folks and a crew of about, 25 other people came and hung out at the Fulton Theater all weekend looking for ghosts. This show, our episode for Lancaster, actually airs tomorrow on the 24th. That's when it's first available on Discovery Plus. So they hung out with Steph Joe Wise and Eric Pugh, who are two of the leadership team down there at the Fulton. And it sounded like Mary Ellen Wright wrote this article in LNP, and it sounded like it was a great time. It sounded like they had a great time.
And I never realized that the Fulton was supposed to be haunted.
Yeah. The reason that Portals to Hell was actually interested in the Fulton is because of this tragic story that happened actually 100 years before the Fulton was built, which is where a vigilante group called the Paxton Boys came to Lancaster and killed 14 Native Americans who were being held in a prison that was sitting on that land.
Oh.
And the irony of that story has always been that the Native Americans were actually put in that prison to protect them because there was this vigilante group kind of going around the region. So that's what drew Portals to Hell in to take a look at the Fulton. But it turns out there are ghosts. There's the lady in white is a famous ghost who is apparently a diva who had worked at the theater.
Okay, yeah,
and was very difficult to work with. There's the Whistler, they call him.
Okay.
There's a guy who floats around the theater in a 3-piece suit. And even an old man in the balcony who apparently shows up to watch his granddaughter.
I was going to say, is it going to be like, those two old guys in the Muppets that sat up there and they just heckle everybody?
That's right.
That would be the worst thing in the world, to be heckled off stage by a ghost.
By a ghost, yeah, absolutely. But you can check it all out starting tomorrow on April 24th on Discovery Plus. If you have that streaming, that streaming channel,
there you go.
Streaming service. We have a boost to local esports here in the area. So this is pretty interesting. The Emerald Foundation, which is a nonprofit out of Manheim Township, received a $500,000 state grant to boost esports in our region. Esports being competitive video gaming.
There's
a program called the PA Smart Advancing Grant Program, and its goal is statewide to advance STEM education, so science, technology, engineering, and math. And they received $10.8 million. They have a $10.8 million budget to basically bring esports to schools all over.
I think I'm just like I'm the grouchy old man on this, because I remember so many times like
it's gonna rot your brain, kid.
Yeah, when I was doing my martial arts school, I'd have all these kids and like they couldn't practice because they're playing video games all night. I'm like, hey, look, man, you can study, you can take up a musical instrument. If you do martial arts, even you can be somebody like me who can open up a school. Right. You're not going to be able to make money playing video games.
Well, they're working toward that right now. Let me tell you.
I mean, they're probably making more money than me.
The Emerald Foundation is going to add $780,000 to that $500,000 grant to form 100 clubs in the 21-22 school year.
Time for me to take up Grand Theft Auto.
It's time.
I'm telling you.
The popularity of the sports, though, ironically, according to the paper, has skyrocketed in recent years thanks to shooter games. So there's an ironic twist.
Yeah.
Anyway, esports coming to Lancaster in a big way over the next year.
Big time.
A lot of money getting poured into that, and soon there'll be a lot of money working in esports instead of martial arts. Sorry, man.
Yeah, man. That's why I closed my school.
It's time. Hey, this week was 420. And if you know what that means, it means we're talking about some ganja. Ganja. Yeah.
Some skunk.
So on 420 this week, which was is that Tuesday or Wednesday? I don't know.
It was the 20th of the month.
It's a little fuzzy. 100 people rallied in Harrisburg on 420 to support the legalization of marijuana, including Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman, who's been a huge advocate for legalizing marijuana here in Pennsylvania, along with two state senators, a Republican and a Democrat. So this is like the first bipartisan.
We with the party and bipartisan.
It's time. But see, that's the thing is that people have been saying this for years. Like, if you legalize weed, everyone will just kind of hang out. Yeah. Put on some Hendrix, fire up the lava lamp, and we can finally get some things done. So this Dan Laughlin, I believe is his name, Republican out of Erie, and Sharif Street, a Democrat from Philadelphia, are putting forth a bill to finally legalize marijuana here in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's a big movement. The states that have done it successfully have certainly seen revenue increases. From it. But, and that's just a direct revenue increase because, you can tax it and things like that. But they don't even think about the secondary increases.
What's that?
Which is, the food and entertainment industry, which has been really hard hurt because, if you're firing up a lot, you're going to be supporting those taco trucks.
Hey, I never even thought about that. Like the pizza delivery business will just boom. Yeah. 11 o'clock.
Absolutely.
12 o'clock. And states all around us are adopting legalized marijuana. So it's time. That's what happens, unfortunately, is, everyone goes to Jersey and then they never come back. They never lost.
They're lost. They're looking for a White Castle.
Lost in Jersey trying to find White Castle. That's right. So hopefully it's coming soon. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Jobs, revenue, there's a lot of good reasons for it.
Yeah.
I am pro legalization of marijuana.
Professional?
That's it. Yeah, I'm a professional legalizer of marijuana.
All right.
In space news, helicopter on Mars from Bloomberg. That's right. Helicopter. I was saying how that sounds like an indie rock band from the early 2000s.
It probably is.
Helicopter on Mars. So NASA had its first flight on another planet this week. The chopper called Ingenuity's 4 pounds flew 10 feet in the air for 40 seconds. Doesn't seem like a big deal, does it?
It actually is, though.
It's huge. It's huge. The air on Mars is 100 times thinner, right? Which means that to fly a helicopter, the rotation of the blade has to go 5 times that of a helicopter here on the Earth. So flying 10 feet in the air is the equivalent of flying 87,000 feet on Earth.
Wow.
Yeah, which is twice the record. That's 3 Mount Everests.
That's amazing.
And they pulled it off.
Wow. That's Great.
Yeah, so that's actually a huge thing for NASA. The chopper landed with the Perseverance rover that landed on Mars recently.
All right, cool. Well, I actually did read that it did a second flight yesterday.
Oh yeah,
yeah, did another flight. So they're doing a lot up there. There's a lot of stuff going on in Mars, a lot of stuff in space. Now, speaking of space, look, folks, I have gotten so much email, text, tweets, you name it. Everybody's been reaching out to me about our segment from last week.
Oh, your prediction.
The prediction.
Yeah.
Now, some of you're right with me, but I do have to say also, I've been noticing a lot of guys in black suits hanging around my house. And I think there was actually a Will Smith sighting, but
you sure that's not the FBI?
Somebody, but the whole thing about these UFOs,
right.
that video that has been confirmed. That is confirmed by the Pentagon.
You mean the leaked
video,
the leaked videos of UFOs?
Yes, confirmed by the Pentagon that there was actually in 2019. This video was taken. If you've seen it online,
is this the night vision video?
Yeah, it's a night vision video. Yes, so there's a night vision video of unidentified flying object taken from 2019 by the U.S. Navy. Now they actually have changed the name. I don't know why. UFO wasn't good enough. Now it's unidentified aerial phenomenon.
UAFs. Now we have to go back and change all the books.
We're going to change everything. But so the video came out saying, here it is. This is visual proof of
UAFs,
UFO, UAFs, whatever the heck it is. But it's legit. It is absolutely legit.
I'm glad you brought that video up because what you've seen online, you can go to all these news sources. If you Google the night vision video from the U.S. Navy, it's just a clip.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually not the full video. We have a source high up in the government, CUPPA J's does, who requested anonymity, who actually brought us exclusively the rest of that video. So if we want to roll that tape, we're going to premiere it right now. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. See it?
Yeah. Triangular.
Yeah.
Here. What
in the world?
Your greatest fears confirmed by the U.S. Navy.
Ugh.
And it's from Mars. There it is, folks.
I'm telling you, those damn Martians.
An exclusive right here on CUPPA J's.
This is where real reporting goes on.
It's a good thing we have those sources in the government.
You got you got to tap into things. Speaking about a portal to hell.
Right. In any event, there you go, folks. Right here on CUPPA J's. Tune in next week for more space news from CUPPA J's. Right now, we're going to turn the microphone over to Ruby, who's bringing us some information about our old friends. Hi, Ruby.
Hello. So exciting news for all of you fans of the TV show Friends, which we're going back to the question of the day or question of the week. Friends is my favorite show. I'm still, I guess, a child in some people's eyes, but Friends will always be my favorite TV show. And exciting news, the Friends crew just announced that the Friends reunion has officially wrapped filming, which means it's going to be coming soon. They haven't released a date yet, but it will be on HBO Max, and I am just beyond excited. I screamed when I saw that post announcing that they had wrapped filming.
Huge news.
It's huge.
Bigly.
Highlight of my week. But unfortunately, it won't be the cast acting as their characters,
Wait,
meetup. It's gonna be the cast reuniting, looking at behind the scenes footage, never before seen footage, talking about their experience with the show. And it'll actually be, I'm pretty sure, the first time since the show finished its big run that the whole cast has been seen together. So it's going to be pretty exciting.
Okay, so this is more almost like a documentary.
It is, yeah.
More so than it's not like the show's being rebooted and they're coming back 30 years later. Right?
Thank God.
Not a fan?
I've seen bits and pieces of the episodes, but not a huge fan. No.
I gotta say it's pretty interesting though how I wasn't a big fan, and then I didn't watch it when it was live. I probably saw maybe, I don't know, few dozen episodes over the years, here and there. But I do think it's interesting how the streaming services that reran some of these shows really brought in this next generation.
Oh yeah. My youngest stepdaughter has watched that series. I think the entire series at least 3 times.
Yeah, same for me and my sister. It all started when I saw it on Netflix.
Yeah, it's
like, huh.
And it's so different from when we would watch it. Of course, every week you'd have to wait for a show, and then if it was in rerun, you might see it every day. But still, it would take months to see a season. These guys, a weekend.
Yeah.
I just blew through season 2.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But well, good for them. It amazes me sometimes though how you have these shows that have long runs.
Yeah.
And after the show ends, they rarely work together.
Right.
It's really kind of interesting.
You know what I always thought was weird about TV shows like that? You get to know the characters, like you get to know like Ross. Mm-hmm. If I see that guy, I think Ross. Yeah. And I always found it weird, like when the cast, they would interview the cast like on a late night show or something, and they would refer to each other by their real names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that would always, like on Cheers, they would talk about Cheers after. It would call him Ted. I'd be like, that's not Ted, that's Sam.
Yeah.
So
you're Norm. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we're Norm. Anyway, is there a date? Did you say a date?
No date released yet. I will be keeping a very close look, so when we find out, I'll let everyone know.
Stay tuned here.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, stay tuned here. Cup of J's will let you know as soon as we have a date. Do you like springtime, Jose?
Springtime is an interesting time. I love the warmer weather, the return of the warmer weather. Absolutely, I'm a warm weather guy. A little extra sunshine, the colors,
Yeah.
But there are certain things. There's certain things about spring absolutely hate.
Not working for you.
Not working for me. But, here's the thing. It's always hard for me to remember when a season is changing. I don't know. When is spring? When is summer? So I go by markers. I go by markers because it may say on the calendar. They may be telling you it's spring, but it's not really spring until you have certain events that occur. And I happen to have the top 3 big signs that spring has sprung. The first one is the return of the orange cones.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, welcome to Lancaster.
It's spring when those orange cones have popped up.
The invasion.
Speaking
of invasions.
Yeah, exactly. This is, invasions of the orange cones. I think they're like kind of like Galactus has his herald, which is the Silver Surfer. If you're a comic book geek, you know what I'm talking about. Thanos had his crew that showed up before the invasion. I think that the orange cones are actually the heralds for the peeps. They signal the upcoming peep.
Here they come.
Yes. The second thing that indicates to me,
number 2,
that spring is here, is the wonderful smell of manure and mulch in the air.
Welcome to Lancaster.
When you're driving down 283 and your window's down on that beautiful day, and you get that, that's not brown sugar. It's brown something else.
It's not a hint of brown sugar from Necessary Coffee.
It is not a hint. So that's a big sign to me that spring is actually here. But the biggest, and I know that I experience this and Ruby does as well. That it's spring in Lancaster when you wake up in the morning and you have to shuffle your car out from under the pollen. That's right. There we have a perfect example of, I think that is actually taken this morning. It's unbelievable.
Welcome to Lancaster.
Welcome to Lancaster.
Oh, it's so true, man. The funny thing is that in theory, the idea of rolling your windows down, like, the weather's starting to turn, it's March, and you say, the first big, nice, sunny weekend's coming up. Let's roll the windows down and go for a nice long drive through the county.
Yeah.
Terrible idea.
Yeah, because you're either, it's actually, all of these are tied together, because if you roll your window down, you're either going to smell asphalt or you're going to smell manure, which is another fault, or you're going to be inundated with pollen and be sneezing like crazy.
Yeah,
so
your dash will be covered.
Yeah, exactly. So you're better off just staying at home and celebrating 420.
Absolutely. Thank you for that report, Jose. And it's Friday, and that means it's time for Weekend Shenanigans. What do you got going on this weekend, friend?
Actually, I have dinner reservations this evening.
Do you?
Yeah, we're going to go to C'est La Vie with some friends.
Nice.
I'm really looking forward to that.
C'est La Vie's right downtown in Lancaster here, right off of Market Square, right by our Central Market.
Mm-hmm.
You been there before?
I have not been there to eat. I did have a sandwich from them during restaurant week.
Oh, okay.
Courtesy of our good friends at So in the Know. They hooked me up. So,
nice. And speaking of, if you want to find out a lot of things that are happening around Lancaster every week, tune into So in the Know. It drops every Sunday. It's a video by our producer Ruby and her partner Ariana. They do a great job bringing you all kinds of great events that are happening around the area.
Awesome.
Tomorrow, I'm going to be working here at the Candy Factory. It's that's right, for our cafe hour. So if you're a member of the Candy Factory, we have social hours as well as co-working hours, and Saturdays are basically our cafe hours. So you and a guest are welcome to stop by, have a latte. I won't be making them. I'm not a barista, but our executive producer, Ann Kirby, does a fine job.
Yeah,
fine job making lattes.
I'll be here, so I expect to have a nice...
Yeah, you drop down. So we're covering Saturday. We're going to be hanging out in the cafe down in our main hall. So you can meet the host. How about that? Come on in, meet the host.
That guy.
I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
We had a whole... the RSVs were flying in. And
we'll have to get security.
Saturday night, we're going to take a ride up to Harrisburg. You know, one of the things that makes Lancaster so good is our proximity to other cities. Lancaster is an awesome place to live, but we're so close to Philly, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., and Harrisburg, our state capital.
Yes, absolutely.
And there are a bunch of restaurants up there we really like. Cork and Fork.
Yeah, Cork and Fork is a great place.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite restaurants in the area. And so we're going to go up there and have ourselves a little dinner on Saturday night. That's what's going on this weekend.
Good stuff.
A reminder, if you are... you're interested in a bag of necessary coffee, you can win one by dropping us a comment below the video on whatever platform that you are you're watching us on. Answering the question of the week: what is your favorite TV show as a kid? Do we have any comments from viewers flying in this morning?
They're just flying
toward us like a peep out of nowhere.
Okay, Andrew says favorite TV show as a kid: Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, hands down. Yeah, absolutely.
Well done, Andrew Charles. Yeah, man. That was as a kid.
Yeah.
Elementary school, early middle school. I love Bugs.
Yeah, absolutely. Learned a lot of life lessons from Bugs.
Kill the wab. Anybody else?
Ben Steck says the Ghost Watch. How do I see the story and footage again? Where can it be revisited? Thank you. The Ghost Watch.
Oh, the Ghost Watch wasn't his favorite show as a kid.
No.
He's talking about the Ghost.
Portal to Hell.
So Portals to Hell is streaming on Discovery Plus, and that is tomorrow night is the debut of the Fulton episode. Yeah, Fulton Theater episode. I guess last week was Chester County, a haunted building in Chester County. So that's Portals to Hell. Google that.
Patrick Buzzard, Legalize the Leaf.
Yes, absolutely. Not what Patrick, I guess, used to watch Legalize the Leaf as a child.
Yes.
Thank you, Pat Buzzard, for chiming in. Is Ohio? That's an old buddy of mine from Ohio. Is Ohio legal? No, they can't be.
They medical, yes.
Okay.
I think they're close on recreational. Dexter Laboratory. This is from Austin Kirby. Dexter's Laboratory. I think it's laboratory. Dexter's Laboratory would be where Dexter would go when he had a little bit too much to eat and drink. Lynn.
Thank you, Austin.
Fury and Sky King. Okay.
Oh, I don't know those. Fury and Sky King. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for chiming in this morning.
I think I gotta go to Dexter's Laboratory when we're done here.
Too much coffee. This up. I gotta get to Dexter's Laboratory. Whew, that was something. It's great to be back live with you, man.
It's good to be back with you, my friend.
And
it's good to be back with you, Lancaster.
That's right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning on Cup of J's. And remember, keep your cup full with all the stuff that makes Lancaster
so good.
Candy Factory.